Everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to do Justice Society of America issue number 1 from DC Comics. Cover by Alex Ross and Dale Eaglesham. Written by Geoff Johns. Art interiors is by Dale Eaglesham and inking by Art Thibert. I think that I like Justice Society of America a little bit more than the Justice League of America. And now, what I like about I'm late to the whole Justice Society superhero stuff. I know them for a very long time, but I was never invested in, and that's why I'm buying all these back issues now that you see in my unboxing videos. And then this came, and I was instantly sold. I just loved the whole series. There was 37 books. I got all of them and an annual. Great art, great stories, and I recommend it. Now, my main hesitation is that a word? Main hesitation? My hesitation is that I do everything or just maybe a couple of issues. We're going to see what the reception is. So without further ado, let's dive in. So we start here. This is the aftermath of World War III. There was a story. I'm not going to get into it. You can find it on Google. But then we see all these classic characters that I liked. And then 3 weeks later, we have Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. They are praising the Justice League, and, they are talking about that they are a family, etc. And basically Superman says, the world needs better good guys. So what can the League do to help? I got an idea, says Alan. But before we get into that, we go to Westmoreland County, Virginia, because there was a murder there. And this man is walking to the crime scene, and he is Special Agent Trey Thompson. And when he enters the murder scene, people know him as Mr. America. I never heard of that guy, right? So, like I said, I'm always interested in new characters that I've never seen or heard before, although I bought this is a book from 2007, by the way. And immediately intrigued by this guy, I said, hey, who is this? Is this boring or not? Well, we get a big shocker, because this murder scene and this agent here says that, hey, we really appreciate everything you've done for us, Mr. America. And he says, what do we have? A female, 33, 2 boys, 12, and a teen. And 10, I'm sorry. And he says, the husband is missing, but then he says, I'm the husband. Oh, man. So it's getting, national news. And then we seeing, photos from members of the GSA. Yeah, Our Man, Stargirl, Dr. Midnight. And if I remember correctly, like I said, it's been a long time since I've all these comics. Liberty Belle, the new Liberty Belle, Jessie Chambers, was at once upon a time Jessie Quick. She had flash powers that she inherited from her dad. What's his name? Johnny Quick, right? So I believe she now inherits also the powers. She lost the magic formula that gave her the speed powers, and now she inherits the powers of her mom, Liberty, the first Liberty Belle. So yeah, this is a lot of second generation. Although Michael Holt here is not as far as I believe, not a relative of the original Mr. Terrific. But then we have Rex Tyler here, Courtney Whitmore. It's just a lot of. That's what I like about the GSA. There's old and new in everything. Old, new, and it's all family. It's all related. It's blood related. I just like that a lot. So we see here Alan and Jake with Ted here on the table. They're probably choosing the people that wants to or needs to join the GSA, right? And then we see the narrative of Wildcat here, how the GSA a little bit came to be, and that they are once upon a time protecting America from the Ides Out dangers, but now they are training new people, new youth to learn the ropes, and he is part of that, right? And He says Jay and Ellen are the father figures. That ain't the way I'm built, he says. And so Jay says, dozens of the new metahumans have been popping up this last year. A handful are descendants of society members we knew. Others are trying on a name and uniform that belongs to someone else. These young men and women carrying on legacies needed guidance. You both be better judge who than me. The League spends weeks tracing bloodlines, gathering all of these intel for us. The least you can do is take a look. It's only polite, and that sums up Jay up in one word. And responsibility, responsible. Ellen in the other. I like that. I like core values. I like older values, when people were polite and maybe I'm a little bit wrong, civilized a little bit more, because now people are just so mad and angry all the time. I mean, look at social media. It's crazy, right? But, he says, well, I'm giving it a chance by, as soon as they step in the ring. Meanwhile, we are jumped to an action scene here between Damage. I'm not sure why I'm saying Nuke. Nuke is another. Oh, wait a minute. I remember now. This guy was called Nuke once, and now he's Damage. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, guys. Like I said, it's just I missed a lot. I just piecing the pieces together, and it seems that he is fighting a racist called Rebel, and Rebel says, I heard things about you, Damage. Heard that you wear a mask out of shame. Heard your face was destroyed by the reverse flash. And I heard when he beat you to a bloody mess, you cried like a bitch. Love the lettering. So Damage is pissed off, uses his powers. I believe he has atomic powers or something that he can use in devastating ways. And he says, my knee is dust, like your teeth. Looks great. And he says, hey, Rebel. Now, who's crying like a bitch? Yeah, he's a young man that has a lot of anger because the police says, hey, you demolished our car. What the hell do you think you're doing? Your job. Now, out of my way. But then this is happening. He says, isn't there a way to talk to the officer of the law? And like I said, the art is really good. I think Dale Eaglesham can draw people very nice. Love the aesthetic, has that house style that I'm looking for. And it's our man and Liberty Belle, and they want to have a talk. And Damage say, hey, you want to offer me a membership? And he says that, that the Titans and the Freedom Force, freedom fighters offer him a membership, but he said no. And he says, what could you possibly offer me, right? So then the cop says, who's going to pay for our car? Build a justice society. Come on, we parked around the corner. Great. So yeah, they're doing some kind of they did what the Avengers did, also when people's cars getting destroyed. They say, hey, just build Tony Stark or the Avengers or whatever, and they kind of pay for everything, right? So I like that aspect. Meanwhile, we see Mr. America tracing, and the perpetrator that killed his wife and family. And this guy is called Catalyst, and he's also killed again. And then he's using a whip, and my whip will slice into his throat. I tuck until I see blood in his eyes. My family is gone. All I have left is justice. So he screams at Edward, who hired you? Talk before you can. I like that. I also like the stars on his cape. Nice little touch, although his costume is a little bit, it's pretty simple, but, it's the small touches, the domino mask, the whip, the stars on his cape, the color, small details that makes it fun to look at. Ads. And then we're getting introduced to, I'm not sure if it's a new character. I'm a sucker for redheads, although I'm over Mary Jane, because that's immediately what people think of seeing this character. So yeah, when I see her, I said, hey, cool. A new character that is getting introduced, right? Who's she and where does she come from and what is her power? It seems that she likes to talk a lot and she doesn't have a lot of friends, unfortunately. And then she stands on the top of the building, and there's a voice here says, "That's her? That's her. I've heard Ma said she suffered from atypical depression ever since that incident with T. Tomorrow. What you smiling about? I'm sure I have no idea what she's doing now." And then she jumps off the building, and then this is happening. I think she's having fun. "Hey, kid." And then she's geeking out because of Paragirl and Fair Play Guy is here. I always call him Fair Play Guy. But yeah. So they're talking about that she is the granddaughter of Maxime Hunkel, former Red Tornado. And basically she says, "Hey, do you want a membership of the Justice Society?" Because they want to figure out how she get the powers. And she's, still new. And so when Paragirl did that, or asked her that, she just says, "I can't believe this is happening." And she's talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. So she says one word, and I'm revoking our offer. Okay, she's crying. Yeah, she's going to be a fun character. But later in Opal City, so we see, this brings me back to the whole Superman, Lois Lane in a helicopter reporting news kind of stuff. I just like that, right? So something is happening, and the helicopter goes down because there's a fire. And then we see Starman coming to the rescue. It looks heavier. Now, I want to immediately spoil everything on this page, because this is not the typical Starman that takes, the typical guy that takes on the Starman mantle, as in, a lot of Starman comics, there's a lot of Starmans. No, this is, although he is Starman, there's something else going on with this guy, right? So she is jumping out of the helicopter, and she says she wants to interview him. He says, "Jessica Jensen, Channel 8. And she says, "Who are you?" Right? And he says, "I love Sloppy Joes, don't you? It's Wednesday after all." "Excuse me?" And then he flies off. Sloppy Joes? I have no idea. So yeah, so he goes to this institution, and the people that work here says, "Hey, good afternoon, Starman." "Hello, doctor. How are you feeling today?" "It's Wednesday. I'm great." "Did you take your pills?" "All 4 colors. Color Kids and Polar Boys." So for those who read a lot of DC Comics, probably knows what this means. I'm not saying anything, but, I'm going to review issue 2 for you, and maybe a little bit more, and we're going to find out who Starman really is. But then we see, Dr. Midnight and Courtney here, Stargirl. They taken an interest in Starman, and he knows, they want to know where he's come from. And then this doctor says that he appeared in Opal City a couple of months ago. And then he came into this office, and he says that he's complaining about voices in his head, right? We did brain scan some psychiatric tests as close as we can. He's a borderline schizophrenic, but we don't know for sure. And she also likes Dr. Midnight, and she basically asked him out. And she says, "Dinner on me," she says, and he says, "My schedule's fairly tight." Dude, what are you talking about? This woman comes on to you. So Courtney says, "Doc, she's totally hating on you." "She's not. You are blind." Yes, that's true. Dr. Midnight is blind, for real, right? He's basically, well, he's not Daredevil, but he's blind, right? And then this doctor also said that he, how he came here. He says that he can live here as long as he wants because he feels safe here. And basically they take him in as some kind of a resident, which is pretty cool. And he always goes back to his room when something's happened. So he always comes back because of the Sloppy Joes, right? And so it's Wednesday. They're serving Sloppy Joes tonight. You know, yeah. Do you like Sloppy Joes as much as I do? Sure. I'm Stargirl. This is Dr. Midnight. I know who you both are. They told me the dreams and the nightmares, her and him. He tries to scream, but he makes her quiet. It's what the problem is, what was and when. I think. You think what? I think I've lost my mind, Doctor. Please, can you help me find it? This is pretty interesting. So then we go to Ted here, and he's boxing, and he's thinking that talking about the GSA, that they're all have families, and that he is not. He just trains new members and moves on, and then he knows that they're Jay and Alan is here, and they say, hey, you need to come with us quickly. So what's going on? Meanwhile, we see Mr. America here. He's found the person that hired the killer, right? And he is also sinking in that he lost his family. And he's basically trained by Wildcat. And then he hears a voice, "Good evening, Thompson." And he says, "I'm alone." And so we see this young girl, living now in the GSA mansion. And then we see all the members of the GSA that's been now introduced into, well, not really introduced, but they're all being a part of the GSA. Looks nice, looks really cool. I love that. Backgrounds and all that stuff, detail. I love that, right? And she's talking, big admirer. Well, Jay and Alan leads Ted to where they are going. Mr. Midnight is running, fleeing. I have to warn them. I was only the beginning. And so Ted says, "What are we doing in Brooklyn?" That's him. Well, Mr. America crashes through the window. That's who? That's Tom. Oh, his name is Tom. He is your son. And we see the body of Mr. America lying on the table of the GSA headquarters. And that leads us to the next issue, and we see also a glimpse of what's to come. There's a lot of spoilers in here, by the way, so I'm not getting into it. I really like the series. So, 2007, I don't think it's the best year of comics, but this one hits really home for me. I love the covers, with Alex Ross. We see what's to come. Especially interested in this character, and there is something about this symbol that I really need to talk about in the future, but not for now. So guys, let me know what you think about this comic. Do you read it? Do you like it? Are you interested in it? I recommend it, but that's not up to me. It's up to you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.